Have you ever tried staying silent in front of a narcissist? If you have, you've likely experienced their dramatic and unpredictable reactions. If not, get ready, because in this video, we'll uncover what happens when you dare to stop feeding the massive ego of a narcissist. Will they lash out in anger, beg for you to come back, or will they try to manipulate you with even more cunning tactics? Join me as we expose the secrets behind the narcissist's perfect mask and equip ourselves with the essential knowledge to protect against toxic psychological manipulation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future videos. For a narcissist, causing arguments is not about solving problems or determining who is right or wrong, but rather about provoking you. They want to see you lose your temper, get angry, and expend your energy. At first, when you remain silent, they may dismiss it, confident that everything is still under their control and that you'll soon return. However, when they realize you've changed, they'll begin to feel anxious, disappointed, and even panicked. A narcissist is like a wild animal trapped in a small cage. When you stay silent, you're slamming the cage door shut, depriving them of their perceived freedom. They feel stifled, restrained, and overwhelmed with a sense of helplessness. But don't forget, the nature of a wild animal is to never submit. They will thrash about, scream, and do everything in their power to break free, to regain control. Similarly, narcissists will attack you relentlessly with constant calls, persistent messages, and even surprise appearances at your home or workplace, disregarding any boundaries. In their distorted world, boundaries are luxury. They believe others exist solely to serve their needs, and you are merely an extension of their will with no right to privacy. Your silence robs them of control, delivering a sharp blow to their enormous ego. They react with madness, resorting to frantic actions to drag you back into their cycle of control. Ironically, the silent treatment they once confidently used to manipulate you now becomes a weapon turned against them, sending them into panic and prompting frantic assaults. They bombard you with messages and emails filled with conflicting emotions, sometimes angry and spiteful, other times apologetic and pleading, even trying to guilt you for daring to ignore them. They may quickly oscillate between extremes, cursing you as the worst person alive and then begging you to come back and resolve everything. This unpredictability reflects their deep fear of abandonment, a lingering wound buried within the soul of a narcissist. They fear losing their source of supply, losing their puppet to control, and facing the emptiness and loneliness within themselves. They will do anything, even lowering themselves to beg, just to pull you back into their toxic spiral. Additionally, they will revisit strategies that previously worked on you, such as love bombing. If you're unfamiliar, a narcissistic relationship often has 4 main stages: idealization, devaluation, discard, and hoovering. Following this cycle, they'll employ the final tactic, hoovering, to suck you back into their manipulative vortex. They'll rekindle the idealization stage, reminding you of their sweet words and gestures from the beginning. Like skilled actors, they'll replay the intoxicating love story, making you believe they've changed, that the love still exists. They may become obsessed with monitoring you, scrutinizing your every move on social media, even reaching out through mutual friends. But don't mistake this for genuine love. It's just a ploy to maintain control. To them, you're merely a source of energy, a prey to feed their insatiable ego. They might send you heartfelt messages like "I miss you," or share a sentimental song that stirs your emotions. They might promise to change, to become a better person. But stay vigilant. These are lies, sophisticated manipulation tactics. Don't let yourself be deceived again. Remember, Narcissists are incapable of sincere love. Everything they do is aimed at maintaining power and control over you. When their love stories no longer work and every trick fails against your steadfast silence, the narcissist will start a new hunt. Like vultures circling the sky, waiting for prey to weaken, they are constantly searching for their next source of supply. They'll keep trying to pull you back while simultaneously casting their nets elsewhere. They need a new victim to feed their massive ego and satisfy their boundless desires. And what's more perfect than finding someone who not only fulfills their needs, but also makes you jealous and miserable? Narcissists are masters at turning others into their puppets. They skillfully seduce the new person into becoming their ally, supporting them and turning against you. They distort the truth, spinning heartbreaking tales of how they've been the victim of your mistreatment. Right? What's more frightening is their subtle, covert smear campaign. They might feign concern and care for you while manipulating others to spread false rumors and tarnish your reputation. Psychologists refer to this tactic as flying monkeys. Curious about this term? Let me explain. It originates from L. Frank Baum's book The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, popularized by the film of the same name. In the story, the flying monkeys are loyal servants of the Wicked Witch, blindly following her orders without question. But flying monkeys, a name that seems to belong only in fairy tales, haunts real life, weaving into relationships and spreading fear and harm. In psychology, this term refers to people manipulated and controlled by narcissists to act against others. These flying monkeys might be the victim's family members, friends, or colleagues. They are persuaded by the narcissist through strategies like gossip, promises, or threats, and then engage in behaviors such as surveillance, slander, spreading false information, and assisting the narcissist in isolating the victim. It's important to note that narcissists often exploit your silence as an excuse to justify their betrayals. If you choose silence while still being in their presence, be prepared for blame-shifting arguments like, "I did this because you stopped caring about me," or "Your silence made me feel worthless, forcing me to seek comfort elsewhere." They may concoct a story filled with coincidence and misfortune, where they are the ones driven into another's arms by your indifference. They cast themselves as victims, claiming they were compelled to betray because they had no other choice. They prey on your compassion, making you question whether you were the one who pushed them away, the cause of this tragic outcome. This is the sophisticated tactic of the narcissist, evading responsibility and blaming others. They refuse to acknowledge that betrayal was their choice and always seek to justify and rationalize their wrongdoing. Stay alert. Do not be deceived by their sweet words. You are not to blame for their decision to betray. That was entirely their choice, and you are not obligated to bear the consequences. Do not allow yourself to be manipulated or unjustly blamed. Stand firm and believe in your self-worth. However, always remember that silence is not a tool to inflict pain on others, but a way to liberate your own soul. It is not a weapon for punishment, nor is it a game to manipulate or control others. Narcissists, with their distorted egos and insatiable desire for power, often misuse silence as a tool to cause suffering and gratify their selfishness. They create cold wars, instill fear and insecurity, and force others to submit to their will. But you are different. You possess a sensitive, empathetic, and noble spirit. You understand that genuine silence stems from self-respect and self-love. It is a way to protect yourself from harm, to regain balance and peace in your soul. It arises from your genuine and legitimate need to live a peaceful and safe life, to shield yourself from toxic energy. No contact is not about the other person. It is an action you take for yourself because you choose to prioritize yourself and honor your value. But remember, silence is the first step, not the entirety. Silence only becomes truly powerful when it comes from inner calmness, not from the turbulent waves of negative emotions. Narcissists are like seasoned hunters equipped with a sharp radar that can detect even the subtlest vibrations in your soul. Even if you try to hide your emotions behind a mask of silence, they can still read you through unconscious signals your body gives off. A worried glance, a furrowed brow, or even a quickened breath. With even a tiny slip, they will pounce like leopards seizing an opportunity, launching an attack to break your silence. They fire poisoned arrows designed to provoke and hurt, making you lose your composure. This might include spiteful insults, blatant provocations, or even absurd stories meant to grab your attention. Their goal is to provoke a reaction, to draw out negative emotions like anger, anxiety, or hurt. Once you take the bait, they revel in their victory, knowing they've successfully pulled you back into their cycle of control. So, remember, the kind of silence that drives a narcissist mad is one of absolute indifference, a cold, impenetrable wall reflecting all their attacks. No emotion, no reaction, no ripples. They become like fish out of water, floundering desperately when they no longer receive the nourishment of your attention. In truth, silence is not about winning against anyone. It is about protecting yourself, about finding peace in your soul. Narcissists, with their enormous egos, constantly crave attention and need to feel they have an impact on others. When you remain silent, they lose their energy source, their audience for performance. They become disoriented, confused, and start doubting themselves. But in reality, you need not concern yourself with what goes on in their minds. The important thing is for you to find strength within yourself. Silence is not just ceasing to speak. It is learning to control your emotions and finding tranquility amidst chaos. Once you've left a relationship with a narcissist, the most crucial step is to cut off contact completely. This is challenging, but necessary to eliminate their toxic influence. Be like a steadfast pebble in a swirling stream, unshaken by the waves created by the narcissist. Silence, strength, and resolve are your ways to disarm their tactics. When they realize they can no longer sway you, they will retreat, leaving you with space for freedom and peace. Cutting ties with a narcissist is not just about blocking their number or unfriending them on social media. It requires a more profound commitment, a complete quarantine from their sphere of influence. This means courageously severing all connections, direct or indirect, with that person. This means you must firmly say no to all meetings and conversations, whether with the narcissists themselves or with those around them, such as their parents, siblings, friends, or acquaintances. Even the smallest crack can allow the narcissist to seep back into your life, manipulating and causing further harm. If you have children with them, establish minimal contact and only exchange necessary information about the children. Use co-parenting apps to schedule and communicate, keeping everything clear, concise, and avoiding unnecessary discussions. If they text you in the middle of the night claiming concern for the children, be cautious. It's likely just an excuse to breach your boundaries. Remember, every time you open the door, you're giving them an opportunity to re-enter. They will see this as an invitation, a forgiveness, and will push even further. They may try to entangle you with complex connections, such as shared children or financial ties, making it harder for you to escape. If they cross the line by harassing or threatening you, don't hesitate to turn to the law. Call the police if necessary to protect yourself and your loved ones. This is not a sign of weakness, but of intelligence and courage. Show them that you are not an easy target. You know how to protect yourself and will not tolerate any violations. Your firmness will make them wary and discourage them from continuing their manipulative behavior. You deserve a life of freedom, peace, and happiness. When you bravely step away from a toxic relationship with a narcissist, setting boundaries is a powerful and essential act. Imagine building a solid fortress, not only to protect yourself from external attacks, but also to uphold your spirit and self-respect. When you leave, the narcissist will not give up easily. They will cling to you, using every trick to pull you back and ready to do anything to survive. To a narcissist, you are not an individual with feelings, thoughts, and needs of your own. In their eyes, you are merely a tool, a source of energy they exploit to fill the emptiness within. When you refuse to play this role, when you decide to cut off their supply, they descend into chaos. The void inside them becomes unbearable, driving them to try every means possible to pull you back into their orbit. They may show up unannounced at your home or office, bombard you with messages and emails, or use sweet words to apologize or threats to guilt-trip you. This is when you must hold your ground. Their promises, pleas, or anger are all tools of manipulation. Remember that you deserve a peaceful life, free from the binds of anyone or any toxic energy. Setting boundaries is not only a way to protect yourself from their influence, but also a declaration of your worth. Boundaries are your way of telling the world that you will no longer be a puppet in anyone's hands. The path ahead may be challenging, filled with temptations to return, but always remember that it is the path to freedom and happiness. Every firm step forward on this journey is a powerful affirmation of your right to take charge of your life. Be proud of your strength, for you've had the courage to break free from the toxic cycle, the resilience to rise, and the resolve to establish boundaries for yourself. Along this journey, always cherish yourself, for you deserve to live in the light of freedom and genuine love. When you choose silence in the face of a narcissist, you are not only reclaiming control, but also creating a powerful shift in your life. Your silence is not a sign of weakness or avoidance. It is an expression of inner strength, awakening, and a commitment to prioritize yourself. By refusing to provide them with the energy they crave, you force them to confront their own emptiness without using you as a means to fill it. In this process, you will gradually feel peace returning, step by step regaining independence and true freedom. Silence becomes a strong boundary, protecting you from the toxic cycles while reaffirming your self-worth. You deserve a life free from manipulation, a life where you are free to grow and love authentically. So, if you are standing at the threshold of silence with a narcissist, take that courageous step forward. Let your silence become a symbol of your freedom, a testament to your self-respect and autonomy. On this journey, you will uncover the strength that has always been within you, the strength to choose peace and happiness for yourself, free from the influence of toxic souls.